The honey badger charges straight into danger as if fear has never existed. It does not need to be the largest, only bold enough to turn every encounter into a tense standoff. Each forward surge carries pure survival instinct and a force that makes rivals hesitate. When it refuses to back down, who still has the strength to stand in its way? On the unforgiving savanna, the hyena represents a hunting style built on practicality and raw power. Each adult weighs around 140 pounds and carries a remarkable bite force of about 1,100 pounds per square inch. A biological weapon powerful enough to handle even the hardest natural barriers. Yet when faced with a honey badger, this powerful hunter suddenly pauses with calculated caution. After spotting a lone target near the brush, the hyenas close in with their deep, unsettling calls. Facing an overwhelming group, the honey badger activates its highest level of defense. It releases a powerful odor from its scent glands, creating a no-go zone that spreads for more than 20 feet. Without showing the slightest hesitation, this 30-pound animal raises its coarse fur and prepares to turn itself into a furious, compact force armed with sharp teeth and claws nearly 2 inches long. The confrontation ends when the reward no longer matches the risk. And once again, the honey badger proves that determination can sometimes be the strongest weapon of all. Beneath the broken shade of the savanna, the African rock python appears like a living steel cable, powerful and imposing. An adult can grow up to 20 feet long and weigh nearly 200 pounds, lying in wait with absolute patience. Without using venom, it depends on massive muscle power to build an ambush zone along game trails, reinforcing its status as one of the continent's most formidable reptiles. But when a bold honey badger enters its striking range, the encounter does not follow the usual pattern. In an instant, the python throws its coils around the intruder, applying about 7 pounds per square inch of pressure across each square inch of its opponent's body. Even while held under that intense pressure, the honey badger proves why it is considered one of the most relentless animals in the wild. With skin nearly 0.25 inches thick and an unusually loose body structure, it keeps twisting and turning to reduce the force of the tightening coils. The sudden arrival of a pack of wild canids becomes the variable that completely shifts the balance. In the brief moment when the python is distracted by these opportunistic newcomers, the honey badger makes a remarkable escape. It forcefully breaks free, then quickly retreats into the brush with its prize, leaving its opponent behind in visible surprise. On this unforgiving savanna, the final victor needs more than muscle alone, but also the nerve to control chaos and turn the balance of fate. In the wild, some confrontations are not decided by physical strength, but by the ability to become too troublesome to engage. The honey badger, with a body weighing under 30 pounds, is a master of this approach, boldly standing its ground even against predators up to 14 times its size. When surrounded by a pride of lions, instead of showing fear, the honey badger adopts an active defensive strategy. It raises its coarse fur and constantly shifts direction to shield vulnerable areas, disrupting the rhythm of the approaching threat. Rather than yielding to jaws capable of delivering around 1,000 pounds per square inch of bite force, it relies on rapid reflexes and its natural defensive scent to create a highly unpleasant buffer. This refusal to retreat generates reverse pressure, causing even full-grown lions to hesitate in the face of such relentless defiance. As the discomfort builds beyond tolerance, the larger predators are forced to disengage and search for an easier target. The honey badger walks away, not only intact, but with control of the encounter firmly in its favor. In the natural world, the honey badger never chooses the easy path. Its struggle for survival leads it into unforgiving wetlands, the domain of crocodiles. Here, every inch of ground falls under the control of a predator with a staggering bite force of up to 3,700 pounds per square inch, a number powerful enough to change the course of nearly any confrontation in an instant. But for this animal, weighing barely 30 pounds, danger is not a barrier. It is an invitation to test the limits. Beneath the brush near the water's edge, the hunt begins. The honey badger does not engage head-on. It watches with patience, selecting targets that have let their guard down during moments of rest. Then it moves into the blind spot, quietly probing for openings between layers of armor-like protection as hard as stone. The moment its opponent shows even the slightest lapse, the honey badger delivers a decisive move that shifts the entire balance of power. The moment ends as the small figure pulls its prize back into the brush, fading from view. A reminder that advantage does not come from size, but from the ability to read and exploit the smallest openings in a world that seems untouchable. The savanna is not just a place of pursuit, but a vast system of information that the honey badger has learned to decode. It does not search at random, but operates with remarkable precision, remembering tree hollows across a range of 20 square miles. Each location may hold a hidden source of energy waiting to be claimed. Honey, the liquid gold most fiercely guarded in the wild. To reach that rich reward, the honey badger must face strong wooden strongholds. Its 2-inch claws work like steel drills, breaking into the structure of a beehive. Unmoved by the fury of thousands of winged defenders, its skin, nearly 0.25 inches thick, functions like a natural shield that helps reduce the impact of repeated attacks. It focuses on the most nutritious parts of the comb, then retreats with great speed before the swarm can fully close in. In this unforgiving world, endurance is the key that opens the door to abundance. It is powerful proof of nature's remarkable design in an animal that never chooses to back down. High in the canopy, the leopard moves like a muscular phantom, weighing around 150 pounds. With night vision about 6 times stronger than that of a human, it is a master of patience. But today, the top predator is not tracking a vulnerable antelope. Its focus is the savanna's most defiant fighter, the honey badger. The encounter turns every calculation into a harsh test of survival. After spotting its opponent alone, the leopard keeps shifting angles in search of an opening. But the honey badger shows no hesitation, answering again and again with harsh warning calls. Each powerful lunge is checked by the astonishing resilience of this small but unyielding animal. The true mistake comes when the predator drifts too close to the boundary of a young cub. In an instant, a surge of fierce defense erupts. With sharp claws and an extreme instinct to protect its young, the honey badger turns the area into a place no intruder can approach lightly. Under that intense psychological pressure, the larger predator is forced to retreat and abandon the confrontation. In the animal kingdom, every species holds a place within a natural hierarchy, except the honey badger. It does not accept any rank imposed by nature. Its bold journey begins as it moves close to giants, weighing around 13,000 pounds, such as the African elephant. Rather than trying to overpower them, the honey badger uses disruption, forcing its opponent to lose focus. Even when a single swing can send it sliding more than 10 feet away, its flexible skin allows it to recover instantly and continue the challenge. It does not stop there. The honey badger then turns its attention to the oryx, an animal equipped with horns nearly 47 inches long and highly dangerous. Each approach becomes a quick test, allowing it to read blind spots and reaction speed. It turns these dangerous defenses into opportunities, using remarkable persistence to take control of the encounter. With intelligence and extraordinary recovery, the honey badger moves on like a quiet victor. With a single dive, the eagle turns open space into a trap. It is not just power, but timing calculated with chilling precision. From above, it observes, waits, then closes in with a decisive approach. The moment it begins to descend, nearly every escape route disappears at once. That is what makes it one of the most formidable rulers of the sky. Survival on the savanna is a game of fragile probabilities. To sustain a powerful body of around 14 pounds, the martial eagle is driven to take on its boldest challenges, engaging targets several times its own weight. Its opponent is the antelope, a master of speed capable of bursts near 50 miles per hour and leaps up to 10 feet to break away. Yet in the wild, heightened vigilance can sometimes work against the herd, triggering sudden, chaotic movement under pressure. If a young individual falls out of rhythm for even a moment, the martial eagle narrows its nearly 8-foot wingspan, turning its entire body mass into a focused aerial impact. Rather than prolonged pursuit, it relies on gravity to generate an impact force of roughly 400 pounds per square inch. This force is concentrated through its talons, quickly overpowering the target to meet its energy demands. In another moment, a mother antelope attempts to turn her body into a living shield for her young. But such efforts often last only an instant. A brief lapse is enough for the young to be separated from protection and lifted from the ground. Nature wastes no movement. Every loss sustains another cycle of life. That is the unforgiving rule of survival. In the three-dimensional world of the Amazon canopy, primates rely on the dense web of branches as an almost impenetrable refuge. With leaps exceeding 30 feet, they command the air through refined agility. Yet nature always creates a perfect counterbalance: the harpy eagle. With a wingspan of over 6.5 feet, this predator can tilt its body up to 90 degrees, navigating through narrow gaps just inches wide with remarkable precision. Once a target is locked, its talons, larger than those of a polar bear, apply an extraordinary gripping force. Even species with exceptional hold, such as sloths, can be pulled away from the tree by this powerful mechanical force. The moment the target is lifted from the canopy, the encounter is effectively decided. The eagle's strength lies in turning the complexity of the forest into an advantage, transforming the smallest openings into pathways to success. It is the pinnacle of survival strategy. The water's surface is a master of deception. Light bends through layers of ripples, causing the prey's position to shift between what is real and what appears to be. To succeed, the eagle relies not only on sharp vision, but also on the ability to read the movement of the water from hundreds of feet above. The eagle quietly scans the lake, waiting for the moment a fish swims closer to the surface or appears within an open patch of water. When the opportunity emerges, it folds its wings, adjusts its descent, and extends its talons, touching the surface in an instant to secure the target. And success does not always come from a direct attempt. At times, its presence and timing alone are enough to prompt other birds to release their catch. The encounter concludes with a decisive wing beat toward the forest canopy. In the world of fishing hunters, the reward doesn't belong to the one who dives the most, but to the one who reads the water correctly and acts at the perfect moment. Mountain goats are masters of balance, holding firm on ledges barely 2 inches wide. With a body weight of around 150 pounds, their specialized hooves make them nearly untouchable on sheer cliffs. Yet along this fragile boundary, there exists a predator that has turned gravity into its most formidable ally: the golden eagle. Once a target is identified, often a young or isolated individual, the eagle dives like an arrow through the air at astonishing speed. It does not attempt to lift prey that can weigh up to 10 times its own body mass. Instead, it uses immense momentum to force the goat off its secure footing. In a brief moment, the predator leverages drops of hundreds of feet to determine the outcome. The combination of precise calculation and the risk of free fall transforms the open air into an inescapable arena. As the dust settles, silence returns to the mountains. The lesson of the cliff is always costly. By using force and terrain, the eagle turns an uneven encounter into a display of refined strategy, a true master of survival. Australia is home to the largest marsupial on Earth. The red kangaroo appears as a surge of muscle, weighing up to 200 pounds, balancing on a tail as sturdy as steel, and standing nearly 6 feet tall amid sun-scorched grass. It is not merely a grazer, it is a vigilant, reactive stronghold, equipped with a kick powerful enough to command respect. Yet from the heated air above, a massive shadow begins its descent. With a wingspan reaching nearly 10 feet, the wedge-tailed eagle engages vision that functions like a zoom lens, locking onto a target from up to 2 miles away. A calculated challenge against a symbol of strength begins, reflecting the intensity of survival. The aerial approach does not begin with brute force, but with precise calculation. The eagle narrows its wings and dives like an arrow through the wind. Its most formidable asset is not the hooked beak, but razor-sharp talons, capable of stopping a target's escape in an instant. For a young kangaroo, This becomes a decisive moment shaped by timing and position. In rare situations, 2 or 3 individuals coordinate their movements, taking turns descending from multiple angles to wear down the opponent's stamina. However, the kangaroo does not yield easily. It uses its tail as a brace, ready to counter any approach that comes too close. The encounter ends in the stillness of the outback, with no outcome claimed. Yet the wedge-tailed eagle has demonstrated that it possesses the resolve to challenge even the most formidable ground-dwelling opponents. Within the hierarchy of the grasslands, ground predators such as wolves and coyotes often carry themselves as dominant hunters. Armed with powerful jaws, they rarely concern themselves with threats from above. Yet the golden eagle does not follow those rules. It is a disruptor of order, willing to confront some of the most formidable hunters with a single turn of the body. The encounter begins when a cunning coyote attempts to take over animal remains. With a bite force of more than 200 pounds per square inch, it repeatedly makes probing feints to test the sky predator's reaction. But the eagle does not give ground easily. It spreads its massive wings to amplify its size and uses its sharp talons as a solid defensive barrier. The clash between teeth and talons unfolds in complete caution. Even with wolves, nothing comes easily. In a decisive moment, the eagle descends from hundreds of feet above, turning gravity into a powerful dive. The confrontation often ends quickly before those on the ground can fully respond. Because in nature, not a single moment is wasted. On open grassland, speed has never been a guaranteed ticket to survival. The hare depends on constant changes of direction, using its powerful hind legs to burst to around 45 miles per hour and carve sharp zigzag paths that throw off the rhythm of most pursuers. But the eagle does not hunt through strength alone. The moment the prey cuts in a new direction, it instantly spreads its tail feathers like a rudder in midair, tightening its flight path through sharp turns with remarkable precision. In a single moment, its talons close in, turning the hare's speed advantage into a mistake that cannot be corrected in time. A 30% success rate may not seem high, but it is enough to maintain order across the grasslands. In this world, the one that prevails is not simply the fastest, but the one that controls momentum more effectively. Through each encounter, the honey badger consistently shows a resilience that challenges every opponent. It does not dominate through size, but through persistence and a sustained ability to push back. That resolve has turned this small animal into one of the most relentless survivors in the natural world. If you want to continue exploring powerful moments like these, tap like on the video and subscribe to the channel so you do not miss the next encounters ahead.